for the day, which is about leadership in a tech-driven world, for which I would like to call on stage our first panelist, Mr. 𝗬𝗵𝗄𝗃, President WadzPay Worldwide, Mr. 𝗬𝗵𝗵𝗃, Founder and Chief Inspirer, xMonks, Dr. 𝗘𝗃𝗲𝗵𝗆, Founder, Work People Relations, Ms. Seema Ahluwalia, Executive Director, HR Admin and IT Sonepar India, and the chairperson for this session, Mr. 𝗦𝗲𝗲𝗺𝗃, President, Chrysalis HRD. Can we have a huge round of applause for the whole panel? I request Mr. Anand to please lead the session for all of us.
It's an honor and privilege both, like I said, to be a part of this panel. A few thoughts before I move forward on so-called the rapid fire round on the questions. A few thoughts that I had put together on this particular topic. So earlier in the day, we've had conversations with technology supporting recruitment, technology supporting talent management, and I think the core anchor that technology needs to support, enable is leadership. And leadership, again, a very fuzzy word, if you will. Very different people understand it differently. A couple of things that stood out for me as I was preparing for this panel was that leaders in today's world actually have a dual role. One, that of being an innovator and also a guardian. Innovator in terms of how to use technology to take the business forward, and we have enough examples of it. And also in terms of guarding against all that's happening in this world, cybersecurity and so on and so forth. Second piece was leaders today need to play a balancing act between technology and humanity both. Because one side there's a need for speed, the other side also the human touch cannot be lost. Last but not the least, what really stood out for me was globalization and democratization as well. So thanks to technology, no more there are boundaries left with people, and leaders in India can be supporting global roles, regional roles, and also to ensure that you are able to meet the local needs that businesses have. So with that context, I'd like to move forward and do have a set of questions that I want to ask. A request to my fellow panelists would be to keep the answer crisp, as discussed a little while ago. It'll just help us move forward faster. First question to you, Seema, is how can Indian leaders balance data-driven decision-making with the need of intuition and creativity in their teams?
First of all, very good evening, everyone, and thank you, 𝗬𝗻𝗄𝗃, for having us. I have a combination of HR and IT. So I take care of HR and IT both. So there is data, and then there is creative side, the heart side. So heart and brain, they complement each other. The brain gives signal and the heart acts. So in this world where people are talking about digital transformation, digital transformation cannot be succeeded without cultural transformation. So I feel that emotional intelligence is very, very important. Whenever you have a data, you can definitely monetize the data in the way you would like to. So अगर आपके पास डेटा है, आप उसको डेटा को चर्न कर सकते हो, डेटा को माइन कर सकते हो, डेटा को रिफाइन और डिफाइन कर सकते हो. But at the same time, how to take decisions are based on your emotional intelligence. So I feel that's the way it has. Both of them, they complement each other in this digital technology space.
Thank you, Seema. To sum it up, it's about heart and brain, digital transformation, cultural transformation, and most used term today, even if you were to Google it, is emotional intelligence of people that are here. Thank you, Seema. Amit, my next question is to you. What challenges do Indian leaders face in fostering innovation while relying on technology and AI for efficiency?
Thanks, 𝗬𝗻𝗄𝗃, and thanks to the convention team here for having me, and good evening, everybody. I think it's a very interesting question. First and foremost, I'll break it into three parts and three pillars. I think the first pillar itself is leadership. You know, we've heard about, I heard one or two panels talk about AI and talent management and all of that. But I think the question that we need to ask ourselves is how many leaders truly understand what is happening in the world of AI? You know, I was reading somewhere, almost 50% of the leaders have some or little knowledge about AI. And if you break that down, I don't think there would be more than 10 or 15 people who would have taken the time, effort and the trouble to get themselves certified even in a basic AI course, or have had a training program or a certification to understand what AI is. So I think that's where the problem stems. If the leadership has a superficial knowledge of AI, how will they then be able to build it into the system? So I think that's what needs to change. That's the first part. The second part of the leadership is about investments. See, it's good to say we are doing work in AI, we are an AI-focused organization, but AI requires huge investments. When you create LLMs, and that's just the one part of AI world, the LLMs need so many billions and millions of dollars for it to be successful over a period of time. So, and forget the LLMs and the millions of dollars. Do you have the chip infrastructure, right? Do you have the right infrastructure in your IT? So are the leaders today building on those blocks which can tomorrow give them an edge 3 years or 5 years down the line? No, so are you investing in your IT with the focus? That's the first part of investment. The second part of investment is in teams and in roles, right? When you have an AI team, when you have an AI role, you have to invest in this. And when I mean investing, it's different because those compensation packages, those incentives, they have to be very, very different from the other parts of the organization. Right, because those skills are so rare. So are you investing in that? The third pillar is culture. Building on what Seema said, it's about a culture of, do you have a culture of failure? Are you accepting or rewarding failure? Because in an AI world, 7 to 8 times out of 10 you will encounter failure in your first or second iteration or third iteration. It's only the fourth or the fifth iteration. But then do you have a culture and the leadership has the patience of, without asking ROI, to go into that whole step and say, we will accept failure. And then again, bottom line of all of this is strategy. 54 to 55% of the organizations today actually don't have an articulated written AI strategy. Is it part of your strategy? So I think that's my thought on leadership.
Thank you so much, Amit, and thank you for giving us another acronym, LIC, Leadership, Investment and Culture, not Life Insurance of India. And I really like the fact that underpinning to all of this is the strategy that drives, and absolutely right, when we talk AI, we talk in loose terms, but it's all about the investments that the organization is willing to make there. So thank you for that answer and the acronym as well. Gaurav, my next question is to you. How can Indian organizations prepare the next generation of leaders to navigate the complexities of a hybrid, AI-driven workplace?
Thank you. When I heard this question for the first time, I was wondering that how would I define an Indian company? Would you call Rakuten, which is a Japanese company operating in India, would you call that as an Indian company, or would you call Mahindras and the Tatas as the Indian company? So so from where I'm looking at, I would like to define that Indian company I'm considering as any organization which is operating in India, right? Let's look at that. So that's one part of it. Now, while I was listening to Amit, and Amit has been a teacher, a friend for a long time, GP Rao sir, it's an absolute honor to sit next to you, right? So thank you so much. And when I was listening to you, Moninder, when you spoke about, are we looking for stability? Are we looking for growth? Are we looking for quality? Are we looking for quantity? What you mentioned about the culture, when you're talking about hybrid, let's accept it. We are talking about paradoxes. We are talking about polarities. You can only solve problems. You cannot solve polarities. We have to manage polarities. And unless, as an organization, I'm willing to accept that there is a polarity that I cannot escape, I will not be able to manage the context that I'm operating in. So that's the first part of it, that I'm able to see it and I'm able to acknowledge it. So that's the first part of it. The second part of it, I need to understand when we are talking about hybrid, we are talking about hybrid in terms of working with robots. We are talking about working from home and working from the organization. They are the different hybrids that we are talking about. Now, in that context, we need to understand, and this is what is happening in different organizations. We need to understand what is the upside of technology and what is the upside of people. What is the upside of working from home? What's the upside of working from the organization? Now, as much as we need to look at the upside, we also need to look at what is the downside of both. Now that's how you're going to map it properly on a piece of paper in terms of the individual, in terms of the team and the culture that Amit, you spoke about. The third thing is we need to understand that what are the learnings that we are picking up from both. Because unless you can see something, you'll not be able to map it. Unless you can map it, you'll not be able to learn anything. And only then we'll be in a position to leverage it. Now, if you look at different organizations, that's what organizations in the Indian context, they are doing. The challenge is when organizations are not able to either acknowledge or accept or embrace this polarity and paradoxes. So,
Thank you, Gaurav. And to sum it up, it's about digital ready teams is the first thing that comes to mind. And again, definition of digital ready teams is different for different organizations, my understanding. And I really liked what you said, paradoxes and problems. Problems cannot be solved. So key takeaway there. Thank you so much for that. Moving to the next question, and this is for you, Seema, once again. From your experience, and you have a very unique role of HR and IT both, what leadership traits are most crucial for driving empathy and connection in India's increasingly tech-driven corporate world?
A very interesting question. I think, as I said before, that whatever you do, it's all about people. So we build people and people build business. Yeah, so if you keep on saying that yes, AI or ChatGPT, Copilot, or maybe any kind of softwares you keep on bringing, but if you don't have a human touch, in fact, I was very surprised to see whenever we log in on any website, so we have to do a checkbox of, and the software or the website they ask, please confirm you're not a robot. So a machine is talking to a human being saying that please confirm you're not a robot. So what's this? So that means that the human intervention is required. So if the two engineers at a shop floor are fighting, so conflict of interest will be sought out by a human intervention, not by data or maybe AI. But yes, the leadership team, first of all, they have to sponsor, they have to understand that the technology will not be a game changer. Technology can definitely ease the comfort of taking decisions based on the right data. So first of all, the data, whatever we are collecting, has to be accurate. It cannot be your item master, vendor master, customer master, your supplier master. Each and everything has to be filtered, sanitized, and then you can take decisions based on the data. So the leadership team also has to see, there has to be people who have to be trained, skilled, and people have to have that kind of a mindset of adaptation. You cannot force people to do something and then say that, no, this has to be done. So what is happening in this ChatGPT and AI world, all the youngsters, they have stopped thinking. They just copy paste without even thinking whether it is past tense, present tense or future tense. So what are they doing is they just copy paste. They're not using their brain at all. They're not writing. So our leaders have to start maybe accepting that yes, technology is important, but at the same time, you can increase the productivity, but at the same time, you have to invest on your people also. So they have to be the sponsors. They have to be, they have to see that maybe, okay, fine, we can do job enlargement and job enhancement, if not vertical growth, but definitely horizontal growth, which is very, very important. But if you say that people are not important, there is no loyalty left now. I'm telling you very frankly, as I heard all of them. So today what happens, I have two sons, I'm telling you very frankly, their loyalty is from one Dell laptop to IBM to Lenovo. But there are no loyalties for companies, whether they work for Pepsi, Reliance, Sonepar or maybe Honeywell. They have only loyalties with the laptop they are sitting behind. So is this a way that technology has to work? No. So I feel that the belongingness and leaders have to invest on people so that the people can use the right kind of decisions to build the business. So that's my take on that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Seema. And to sum it up, what I took away was we build people, people build businesses. Another one-liner that I took away from the SHRM conference last week was, this was a SaaS company, without naming the company. The gentleman who was the head of sales said, Muninder, people buy from people. So imagine a technology company saying that people buy from people, so whatever the technology may be, in the end it is the human touch, and that's what makes a difference. I also strongly believe, Seema, to echo your thoughts, trust is the new currency in today's world, given technology and everything else playing. Last but not the least, I really like this phrase that Seema said, used today, that the loyalty is from an HP to a Dell to a Lenovo laptop. That's about it. Forget the company. So thank you so much for that. Next question to GP sir, and that's the most difficult one, sir. And you have all the time that you want to take to answer this question. How can leaders in India maintain a balance between efficiency through AI and human-centric leadership in traditional industries? Because given your rich experience, like banking or manufacturing.
Thank you, Muninder, for asking that question. I was waiting the clock to cross 15 minutes. So इंटरवल का बाद ही आना था हमको. एंड सेकेंड, ये 5वां क्वेश्चन है, मैं 4th पैनलिस्ट. एटलीस्ट 4th क्वेश्चन तो आना था ना. सो मैन्युफैक्चरिंग, बैंकिंग, ए लार्ज सेक्टर थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट सेक्टर्स है. तो यहाँ पे लीडरशिप के सामने पहले चैलेंज क्या समझते हैं. एक तो यहाँ पे लार्ज स्केल मैन पावर, ये टिपिकल कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स. नंबर 2, यहाँ पे ब्लू कॉलर आते हैं. यहाँ कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स में यहाँ पे फॉलोअरशिप चलता है. एम्पावरमेंट, एवरीबडी इक्वल, वो नहीं चलता है इधर. यहाँ पे बॉस से वो फ्लो करता है कम्युनिकेशन. यहाँ पे मापदंड प्रोडक्शन, प्रोडक्टिविटी पहले आता है, बाद में बाकी चीज आता है. सो दिस इज टिपिकल इन ए लार्ज स्केल मैन्युफैक्चरिंग एंड ऑल. यहाँ पे व्हाट वी आर सेइंग दैट लीडरशिप का सामने ये बैलेंसिंग, मैं तो सुबह उसके डिफरेंस ओपिनियन बोला, बैलेंसिंग अब नहीं रहा. द्वारकानाथ साहब हमको बोल दिया वर्क लाइफ इंटीग्रेशन, 10 साल पहले बोल दिया. तो सेम थिंग हम इसमें भी यूज करेंगे. इट इज इंटीग्रेटिंग द टेक्नोलॉजी, AI पीस एंड द ह्यूमन सेंट्रिक एंगेजमेंट पीस को इंटीग्रेट करना है. अब एक इसमें से पूरा चीज ना करके लेट अस टेक मोटिवेशन. कॉम्पिटेंसी बिल्डिंग ले सकते हैं, मोटिवेशन लिखते हैं, कल्चर ले सकते हैं, लेट्स टेक मोटिवेशन. यहां पे जो मोटिवेशन होता है, एक कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ 3 चीज से होता है. थाली, थैली, ताली. और पैसा माने मनी, रिकग्निशन, इंसेंटिव्स, ओवर टाइम इज थैली. थाली मीन्स बॉन्डिंग, भाईचारा, ब्रदरहुड, दैट कनेक्ट. ये सेकेंड मोटिवेशन फैक्टर होता है. थर्ड फैक्टर होता है ताली से वो लोग मुग्ध हो जाते हैं. उनको बहुत बड़ा रिकग्निशन की जरूरत नहीं. मैंने देखिए उनका चाहत भी बहुत लिमिटेड होता है, ताली से भी मोहित होते हैं. लेट अस टेक ओनली दिस. इस पीस में कैन टेक्नोलॉजी एंड AI हेल्प मी इन दिस? यस. जिसका वेज नेगोशिएशन का 2 साल 2.5 साल लग रहा था, कैन वी डू इट फास्टर? इन जो कॉम्पनसेशन बेनिफिट्स में स्टैंडर्डाइज्ड एवरीथिंग सेम फॉर एट दैट लेवल, उसमें वो फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी ला सकता है क्या? वो नया चीज़ टेक्नोलॉजी AI यूज़ करके पर्सनलाइज्ड, किसको क्या चाहिए, कहाँ पे क्या सूट करता है. तो पंजाब में लुंगी नहीं बांटना चाहिए, और आई मीन दोज काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स. अगर टेक्नोलॉजी AI कैन हेल्प अस इन दिस पीस, that is in the first piece, whether technology AI can help. Number 2, I said, is the bonding piece. So large scale organization जहाँ factories scattered होते हैं, at least take my case, I met the chairman after 12 years of my joining. 12 साल लगा chairman से मिलने के लिए. Can technology AI can help us in reaching out to people? Virtual town halls, virtual dialogue, the conversations, the voice capturing the voice of the people, including the people who do not have a voice. There are people who have a voice, there are people who do not have a voice. उसको capture करने में can that help us? And the last piece is on the tali piece. The need for the recognition is very limited, but then what they want is the need has to be contextualized, localized. That is one. So can AI technology can give that data, can give some information, what works where and all. The second one is also the most manufacturing banking sectors may, there is a delay in recognition because of the size, because of the largeness. So the incentive schemes or the suggestion schemes, the rewards get delayed. So can this be done this? Now this is on using technology AI for improving the humanness of this. Now what are these risk factors are the first reservation factor is in large scale जहाँ voluminous employment होता है, there is an apprehension out of ignorance. It is not apprehension out of a negative mindset. So awareness, training and this role modeling and implementing from the top, that will be the answer. Number two is wherever the unions are there, blue collars are there, very, very sensitive about the privacy. Very, very sensitive about the privacy. The last bit is तनख्वाह कम करो लेकिन इज्जत मत कम करो. That's very, very important, these things. ये चक्कर में, technology के चक्कर में. And last thing, since you said I can take a little more time is, they do not want to see technology as a burden. अरे मेरे को सीखना पड़ेगा, ये अपग्रेड करना पड़ेगा, ये ऐप डाउनलोड करना पड़ेगा, उसमें वो स्ट्रेस में आ जाते हैं. Make that technology adoption friendly, enjoyable. So they will run with you if there is a fun. So that's, and they will make you win also. So this is what is expected of technology in that strategy. Thank you. I've taken a little more time.
No, thank you so much, sir. Again, to sum it up, large scale, when you talk about it, there are apprehensions people have, understandably so, leading to better awareness. It's the seamless integration of AI with human-centric, like you rightly said. Motivation having three facets to it: money, bonding, and then appreciation in terms of appreciation itself. Last but not the least, making technology fun so that there is furthermore appreciation of what's there. My last question, and I'd probably request my fellow panelists to share, if possible, in one line, the answer to this, and I think this will probably help us define how technology can enable leadership as well. How should Indian companies redefine leadership development programs to include both technological competence and emotional intelligence that was just spoken about a little while ago? So Amit, would you like to start first?
To answer in one line is very difficult, so I'm going to take two or three. So let me just put a caveat, right? But I think let's start by acknowledging that the HR leaders today and for many, many years or many decades have been doing a phenomenal job of balancing both the technological and the human aspect of learning and development and training. And that's not something new for the leaders or the HR teams. I think what's important is to look at and identify the jobs that are not there on the circuit and how do you upskill. You know, just to give you an example, 97 million jobs in AI are going to come up in next 2 to 3 years. So all those who have fear about jobs taking is not going to be there. But are we equipping ourselves? So do we know that the next big job is going to be a prompt engineering, or it's going to be an AI HR specialist? You know, someone who can balance AI requirements of the job and the HR requirement or the people requirements of the job and be a specialist, or an AI ethics job. You know, are we looking at the future? And then upskilling is my challenge to the community.
If it is about developmental programs using both technology and the technical and as well human, you wanted to integrate in this, tell them, for example, learning style पहले assess होगा, बाद में learning program होगा. अरे ये तो अच्छा बात है. We never thought कि एक learning style भी होता है, preferred learning style. Number 2, personalized learning programs. कि ये आप घर बैठ के देख सकते हैं, ये हाइब्रिड में कर सकते हैं, ये ऑनलाइन कर सकते हैं, ये टेक्नोलॉजी इज हेल्पिंग यू, दिस फिट्स देयर. And the last bit is hybrid training programs. Hybrid training programs. That means you are using technology and you are also using touch. So that high tech, high touch combinations करना चाहिए. As long as people want something different. If it is driven from the top, let us offer this preferred learning style, the personalized learning options, and this hybrid training. This will give a combination of both.
You cannot talk about swimming and expect people to swim. So unless we make those programs where we are able to integrate these two together while people are learning, they'll never learn that. And I have a daughter, her name is Neil, she's 4:45. And I flaunt and take pride in saying that she can meditate for 11 minutes. Now, we did not speak about meditation with her. She saw, she experienced. And when people experience the benefits, they start to take care of themselves. Now, the question that we need to ask is, first question, what kind of experiences are we creating and building for our team members in the organization? That's first. The second thing is, what are we celebrating? Because we promote whatever we celebrate. So, thank you.
Seema, your thoughts?
I think I feel what they just discussed, that adaptability. First of all, adaptability is very important when we talk about all these technology and COVID. Indians, I'm telling you, first of all, Indians are everywhere. Google, Facebook, Harvard University, all Indians are on top of the CEO's suite. After COVID, what we have learned, when it stopped, 500 rupees was stopped. Still, I think maybe all Indians adapted the technology very, very fast. And in COVID, people sitting, I think 24th of March, COVID was declared in India. And I think I should take the pride of saying that our company, from 27th of March, we were all online on Teams. And each and every person of the organization was connected. So the technology, it's not that like maybe we cannot adapt the mindset. I'm just coming back to the same, the cultural transformation. You need to have the mindset to adapt. As Mr. Rao just now said, that it really created a lot of opportunities for people with disabilities, differently abled people. TeamsPay, I have an uncle who's deaf and dumb, Muninda. Since the video phones came, as well as the team, or maybe Google, or maybe Zoom, so this enabled people to come online, and we started, earlier we were not hiring people with differently able people. But right now, after with all this technology has come, so the technology is helping us. So they started, with the sign language, we started talking to them. So now I have maybe 15 people in my warehouse who are differently abled, and now they're working with us. So it's such a thing, like maybe, yes, we have to be prepared, but at the same time, human intervention cannot like maybe take away, the AI cannot take away the human intervention. Just like saying that, like, yes, we are here, but we need to complement. So I have summed up this thing that like we need to complement each other. So that, thank you.
Perfect. And again, to sum it up, double clicking on what Seema just said, BCG research suggests that there are 377 million Gen Zs in India, which is probably more than the entire population of United States of America. So we are in the right time at the right space. The other two learnings that I've had working with clients for over 2.5 decades now, clients, when we talk about learning and growing and developing, talk about take my organization from being an earning organization to a learning organization. And I think that solves for most of the problems that we discussed. Last but not the least, at least 5-7 years ago, clients have started demanding for results-based learning. To say that we are making investments in learning, can you make it more results-based? With that, my heartfelt thanks to my fellow panelists. And we do have a minute and a half, so any questions from the audience to any one of the panel members? Okay, so we give back the minute that we have. Thank you so much, my fellow panelists. Really fun having this conversation with you. Thank you.
I request Mr. Amit Malik to please come forward and receive your felicitation award. I request Dr. G.P. Rao to please come forward. Ms. Seema Ahluwalia, please come forward. And Mr. Muninder K. Anand, please come forward to receive your felicitation award. I request you all to please come forward for a group photograph.